Boom. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Gosh, what is it? Thursday already. It's amazing how the week flies by. It was raining this morning. Quite the storm. And what that leads me into here is difficulty in training. So I'm really going to talk a little bit more about Ironman and triathlon, right? So if you haven't, there's a piece on the website that is an open letter to when I had 9 athletes doing their first Ironman 2 years ago, which, mind you, 7 of the 9 finished top 10 age group, all first timers. Not too bad, eh? Sometimes I like to toot my own horn on that. But the point of this open letter was talking about the training and the fact that iron is super strong and you have to dig in the earth to get iron, and it gets beaten up, right? The training for the Ironman is tough. It's time consuming. You keep coming into the fire. You keep having to dedicate time. One of the things we were talking about was I was having a number of athletes who, if it was called for an 80-mile ride, they do like 65 and be like, yeah, 65 is good. Or it be, do a 50-mile ride and a 5-mile run. And they'd do a 50-mile ride and they weren't quite feeling well, so they wouldn't run, or they'd run later. And they were making some, what they would call modifications. But what I was saying was, listen, Ironman isn't easy. You have to get out there and train when it's difficult. And yes, there is definitely a difference between a 63-mile ride and an 80-mile ride. Like, you want to complete the unit. So I want to talk about that in regards even to running or to marathon training. And the idea is complete the loop. Complete the training. Whatever it is you're committing to. So if you're a new runner and you go back to one of the first videos of the month here, we talked about getting started and just blocking out like 20 minutes of time. The idea would be to complete that 20 minutes. So if the goal was to run for 20 minutes and you ran and at 9 minutes you couldn't go on, it's not just to stop, it's to walk the next 11 minutes to complete the 20-minute loop. Now see, there you've modified and adapted. You've walked, but you've completed the loop. When it comes to Ironman training, it is a long day, it is a tough event. But the reality is, by the time you get to the Ironman, you should have trained way hard enough to where the race should be relatively easy. And the same thing holds true for marathon training. If you do your miles in marathon training, the marathon should be a pretty enjoyable experience because your body is prepped for it. So the idea is complete the training, complete the loop, go through, even when you don't feel like it. Now all this stems also from practice yesterday morning. We had a woman who was there at practice who didn't feel like being at practice. She was tired, but she showed up anyhow. And I could just tell her. I could just tell that she just wasn't there. But she finished the loop. And what I was saying is, you're here. So if you need to modify, you modify, but finish the loop. Finish what you started. And it was great. She actually sent out a nice little tweet about it on Twitter, which I always appreciate shout outs. So that was really cool. But it gives you that sense of accomplishment. And one of the things that I do is I like to make the training more difficult than the race. And not just physically difficult, but I want it to be mentally difficult or emotionally difficult. So when we do, I take a group out to Colorado every year, and that training is tough. And, we're going out to run in the mountains. We live in a beach town. So we do a lot of Stairmaster, a lot of heavy gym training, and it is designed to be tough. And one of the things I get every year is people want to train with headphones in. They say, I want to just train with headphones in because we're doing like Stairmaster for 3 hours. It's crazy difficult. And I say no, because I want you to develop the mental toughness, and I want you to go through those emotional lows and not get distracted. I want you to be able to go within. Like, that's key. Know yourself. Know thyself. Boy, do I like that. That's a good one. So as you go through your training, know yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Complete each loop. Complete each day of training. Find commitment and courage in the things that you don't like. For example, I don't particularly like swimming, so I swim a little bit more. I don't particularly like lifting some back muscles, so I make sure that when I lift the back muscles, I lift them quality, I lift a decent weight, because I want to get the most out of that. I don't want to go through the motions of something I dislike, because then I'll continue to dislike it, and I won't see gains, and I'll be like, what's the point? But by doing the things that I dislike, I start to gain confidence, I start to gain strength, and then I end up liking them, right? Because we typically like things that we're confident at. So, go through the day, know thyself, finish your workouts, finish the loop, whatever the workout is, whatever the loop is. Finish the task at hand. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, and share. Go on the website, search for that the article about the Ironman letter. It was a pretty good article. So I will talk to y'all soon. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.